Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sia and I live in rural Missouri. So a little bit of background quickly is that my husband, who retired in January, has been diagnosed with some pretty serious health conditions. And we're very consumed with that. It's like, for instance, yesterday, I think his first doctor's appointment was at 9:30, and we didn't get home until after 6 p.m. So you can see that it causes us a lot of stress. On top of that, I have a little part-time gig where I'm working Friday, Saturday, Sunday at a job that's very convenient for me. Since I am so rural in Missouri, I'd have to travel a very long way for a job. I mean, very far. And I was very, very fortunate to get this job. It is a job that I like. It is tourism. It is customer service. And the boss agreed to let me have just my weekend gig, my little Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm only 24 hours a week. It is during the busiest hours. And I like the job. I like it a lot. I get to listen to great music. I get to work in a place with squeaky wooden floors. You know, I love it, and I love talking to the people, and I just thrive in a customer service profession. But right now I'm having conflict at work, and as you can imagine, my home life is stressful enough that, but I work very hard on keeping it chill. I really do. Like, my cabin is like my sanctuary, and my music, and I am partaking tonight. A little lotus cone wrap going on tonight. Organic lotus petal. So I'm chilling and relaxing. But at work, those 3 days has been so stressful. And so I'm just somebody who doesn't deal real well in, like, girl world. Like, I'm not real good with idle chit chat. I despise gossip. Um, Heightened emotions kind of make me cringe. So I just don't deal real well. I just would rather, like, look straight ahead and just do my job. And I would rather say good morning, good afternoon. And if you need help, ask me for, with a task, ask for my help. Well, I was having problems with a manager who was having, instead of being manager energy, she was bringing in big dick grandma energy. So if I would ask her a managerial question, she was meeting me with, as if I was a 13-year-old grandchild, and she was giving me another life lesson. And it was really becoming annoying. And I was letting it slide for as long as I could. I was just, ugh. So then I'd go overhead and I'd just ask another manager, just trying to avoid conflict. But as you know, that never works. The devil always comes home. And then you throw into the mix, at the same time, we have huge employee turnover right now. So there's this big shift in overall energy. And now, wouldn't you know it, the girl that was hired right before me, the woman that was hired right before me, is one of those manager wannabes. Well, we're 4 cashiers and 3 managers deep already. The last thing we need is a 4th manager. And she just is one of those people that every little thing you do, she tattles, and she watches, if you clocked out for lunch or not, and she knows where me and my husband would park for lunch, and she knows who I talk to and how long I talk to them, and she wouldn't let me walk by without a snarky little, you need to do this or you need to do that, and she's always wanting, she hides it behind, the guise of being helpful. I'm just trying to be helpful. And everything is for the betterment of the company. That's what she says. And I just want the betterment of the company. So that gets on your nerves. Plus, she brings big dick mama energy. Like, she wants to literally squall out the back door if you're taking too long to take out the trash. She wants to screech at you. Like you're slinking in home in the middle of the night. I mean, it's enough to drive any sane person crazy. But instead of me being honest with the woman, and the first time it happened, instead of me telling her as an adult that this is unacceptable and this needs to, I need her to not come at me with this manager energy. Instead, I was meeting her like a brick wall. And I was, every time she would say something, she'd come at me with this fire energy. And every time I would meet her with a passive aggressive quip and walk away, and I tried to avoid her. And so it all came to a head, and we all had to go to the manager's office. Well, I didn't even know she was going to be in it. All I wanted was a meeting with my manager so that I could tell her what I need. And, you know, we could talk it out. I didn't even know the other woman was going to be involved. So her being involved caused me so much stress. Now I got so much stress at work for a little part-time gig. I mean, get real. So I really pondered on it a lot, and I talked the ears off of my BFF because I talked about this all day yesterday. And now here I am making a video about it because I feel pretty good with what I came up with. If y'all have a different solution, please feel free to put it in the comments. But I did a lot of introspection and I did a lot of shadow work here. And I looked at myself. So what the girl is coming at me with is fire energy, like I said. And so I can come at her with fire energy, which I was. And all we're doing is burning each other down, burning bridges, and causing all this destruction. And everybody can feel the tension in the place. If I come at her with water energy, water's going to quench fire. Water can go around. Water can always break through dams, and water is strong enough to eventually wear down a boulder. So I've decided that in order for me to come at her with this water energy, if you just get a visual, you'll just see that I have to change a little bit about me, because I am somebody who avoids conflict when I should meet it head on. I should meet it in the very beginning. I should never have come across as a meek and mild doormat to this woman, because she took full advantage of that, and I shouldn't have. I'm too sweet in the beginning, and then when the sweetness stops and I start putting up my boundaries, that's when problems arise. And I do have boundaries. I expect people to respect me. I expect people to say good morning, have a nice day, how'd your day go, you know, that kind of thing when you're passing each other. Hi, hope your day's going well, whatever. But don't come at me, you know, with big dick mama energy, big dick grandma energy, and manager wannabe energy. There's no need for that in the workplace. So in order for me to change, I have to change in the way that I deal with her. I have to be honest. I have to not make the poor woman cry, because she cries all the time at the drop of a hat. But those emotions are valid, and I need to know that. Those emotions of hers are valid, or she wouldn't be showing them. So I have to validate her emotions, not by giving her a hug, because I'm not a hugger. I don't like people all up in my bubble. But if we sit down to talk and have a woman-to-woman honest conversation about what we need from each other, and she starts getting emotional, I have to let her go through that emotion. I have to validate that emotion as real. I can't say, oh, here she goes crying again. I can't do that. It's not good. And on top of that, while I'm growing and changing and being water, and by changing, I don't mean changing my personality. And I'm not suggesting you change your personality, but sometimes you do have to do some introspection and some work on yourself. And you have to say, look, this isn't working with her. Maybe I could try this, and try a different tact. And so in doing that, I think that you can also lift up that other person. And that's always a good thing. If you lift up another human being, that is a good thing. And what if she and I, end up with such a good open line of communication where we can stop, take a moment to breathe, get off the sales floor, talk it out, be honest, be supportive, become stronger women, learn how to deal with conflict without manager interference, learn how to deal with it at work. Instead of hugging it out, hugging out may work for you. I'm not saying that doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. An argument and then a hug doesn't quell anything for me. It leaves me feeling confused and invaded. But a good, honest conversation, and to be able to be shining star examples for the other women that we work with, I think that is the top-notch thing that all of us can do, is to not only work on ourselves, but also help lift up other human beings that we kind of have to be in contact whether we want to be or not. Believe me, I wish I was personally wealthy and could just go back to staying home, or I could make money here, which I'm working on. Believe me, I'm working on that. I know I can, just not right now. I need this job. All right, guys, I'm going to enjoy and partake a little bit. I'm going to put on some Carole King and chill out in my humble abode before I hit the salt mines again tomorrow. I may do an update video and let y'all know how the talk goes, because I really do want to sit down and talk with her. I might do an update video and let y'all know how that goes. All right, you guys, peace out. Much, much love and light.